What's going on, guys? It's Modern, back with another episode of Road to the Top. I made one little change to the team since yesterday's episode, and that is that Rayquaza now has Aqua Tail over Waterfall. It's something I'm just wanting to try out a little bit. It's something I've tested a lot on Pokemon Showdown, and I definitely like it. The difference between Waterfall and Aqua Tail is that Aqua Tail gains 10 base power, and it loses 10% accuracy, and it also loses the chance to flinch. So you lose your hacks factor with Waterfall, and you also gain the chance to miss, but in exchange, it's able to do things like, it's able to pick up knockouts on things like Talonflame and Groudon. It makes it so that against Groudon, if they have no bulk, it's like 100% to KO. If they are bulky, let's say they're max HP, I believe it's something like a 1 in 3 to KO. And that is as opposed to before with Waterfall, where it's like a 1 in 3 to KO a 0 bulk Groudon. So yeah, that's like the only difference or not the only difference, the only change I've made since last episode. Everything else is completely the same with the team. I'm not really sure if there's anything that can be changed about this team. I've been talking to a couple of people on Twitter. You might have seen I was talking to Enosh and a couple of other players, and everyone sort of agrees like there's a lot of room to work with X-Ray using Rayquaza and Xerneas, but in my opinion, I think this is like sort of the best mode for the team. Maybe not necessarily the best set of items, this is just all my preference. You can obviously go and use whatever you're more comfortable with. I just feel that, like, yeah, there's still, like, room to build. First opponent's going to be Megatron from California with a 1600s rating team. They're going to be using Palkia and Groudon for their Archetype, and the rest of the Mons, Crobat, Salamence, Weavile, and Ferrothorn. So it looks like the rest of their team is just trying to, like, they have one half of the team that's sort of dedicated to beating Xerneas, and then the other half is sort of dedicated to beating the Dragon-type Mons slash Groudon. So let's see. Thundurus looks like it's going to be really, really good here. I think that the Hidden Power Water and Thunder Wave are going to be super important for this match. Palkia might give me a little bit of trouble because I might need to set up immediately with Xerneas. So let's see. Rayquaza could be important for taking down to Ferrothorn. I could potentially bring Scrafty here if I wanted, but I'm not sure if that'd be too good against Crobat, and especially if they bring Salamence as well. I think I might go with Scrafty, Thundurus, Rayquaza, Xerneas. Because I don't think Amoonguss is going to be too good here. The question is, what do I want to lead off? I definitely want to lead Thundurus. Rayquaza, not too good against Palkia straight off the bat. Also, if they have Intimidate, that'd be bad. I think I'm just going to go Scrafty, Thundurus. I could also lead Xerneas, though. Oh, well, I'm just going to go with that setup. I think that, the reason I was thinking of Xerneas right there is because they have so many Pokemon that are weak to Xerneas, but at the same time, they might lead off with something like Groudon. And in that case, I'd rather have Scrafty for the Intimidate, just because it helps support Thundurus. And also, in the case that they lead something other than Salamence, so like Weavile, I can go and KO Weavile in one shot with the Low Kick. Now, if they're Focus Sash, it's obviously a little bit different, but yeah. Alright, so what are we going to do for this first turn? Like, I guess what I can do just straight off the bat is just taunt the Crobat and go for a low kick on a Weavile. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason not to go for that play. Fake out into Thundurus, that's fine. Thundurus flinches, they're going to go for Tailwind, so that's also super standard. They're not the Life Orb Weavile, so low kick isn't going to pick up the one-hit knockout, but it will bring it down to its Focus Sash, which is pretty good for me. Get a crit, that doesn't matter though. So let's see, this is going to be a pretty interesting turn 2 here. I think I definitely need to KO Weavile here. I think they're going to double into Thundurus too, so I could switch out to Xern. I don't think that's the best idea. I think honestly I might just Thunderbolt the Crobat. No, you know what? I'm going to taunt the Crobat and then low kick the Weavile. I guess at this point I can just Is knockoff better? No, it's not. Yeah, I'm just going to taunt Crobat. If it has Mental Herb, that's fine. They have to double into Thundurus right here to pick up a knockout. And if I don't know, they're not Life Orb and they're intimidated, so this might not KO Thundurus. I don't know the exact calcs for that, but there might be a chance I can survive here, and that'd be really, really good. So let's see. No, that's going down pretty fast. Oh, I survive on 2 HP! Oh my gosh, that's so clutch. Okay, that's really, really good, because now they're sort of forced into a bad position, because they have to bring in Groudon right here, I think. Oh, and they bring in Salamence. That's interesting. I'm just going to Thunder Wave Salamence and go for a knockoff. That's really interesting. So they brought Groudon in the back, obviously. I'm just going to Thunder Wave Salamence and go for a knockoff into Crobat. The only reason, I don't know, I could have rotated out into Xerneas right there, potentially. That might have actually been a lot better of a play. But the logic here is that if they protect their Salamence, then I can do that play the next turn. Oh, and Cross Poison, so... Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. The knockoff will do a little bit of damage right here, but it won't be anything, like, too notable. Let's see, they are the Lumberry. Okay, so the Cross Poison makes a little bit more sense. I was thinking for a second there that... what is it? I was thinking for a second there that they might just go for a Super Fang or something. The reason I was going for the taunt there, or sorry, the Thunder Wave and not switching out was because if they protected Salamence, then most likely my Thundurus wasn't going down that turn, and so my play with switching into Xerneas would have been pretty bad. Now this is a really interesting position, though, because I'm inclined just to protect and switch out right here, I think. Because I need to conserve Intimidate. I think Intimidate against Crobat is going to be really important. And, yeah, the Salamence, too, especially since they don't have Super Fang from what it looks like. And then this should also stall out their Tailwind. If not, it's going to be one more turn. Cross Poison into Zern, and a Double Edge into Zern. Okay. Crobat's taunt wears off. That's not really going to matter. They can probably just go for, like... What is it? They can probably just go for, like, a Tailwind if they want. I'm just going to Moonblast into the Salamence and switch out into Scrafty, I think. Yeah, because, I mean, they sort of have to double into Xerneas right here. I know for a fact the Salamence will not be able to KO my Xerneas in combination with Super Fang without a crit here, though, so... oh, plus the fact that they're, like, -2 with Crobat is also pretty important. My whole goal right here is I just want to get rid of the Salamence. Oh, and they go for Quick Guard. That's weird. Tailwind with Salamence, too. That is definitely weird. Did they predict a Protect, or I guess Geomancy there? Makes sense. Yeah, now I'm in a really, really good position because I'm assuming they have the Groudon in back. If it's Palkia, I win. But it is going to be Groudon, so... yet another interesting turn right here. This is going to be, like, solely dependent on if I think they have Swords Dance or something. If they have Swords Dance, I almost win guaranteed because Rayquaza can just sort of 1v1 Groudon. If they're special, then I think I'm still in a really good position, regardless. I'm going to play it super safe here, though. I think what I'm going to do is just Moonblast into Groudon, and then go for a switch into Rayquaza. I don't know. I guess a Dazzling Gleam makes a little bit more sense here. Just so the Crobat's knocked into range of, like... I don't know. Knockoff won't KO it. I guess Extreme Speed, just to threaten them. And then it should also knock down the Groudon into range of Aqua Tail. They do actually have Super Fang, so they're going to target down Rayquaza too. That's a really bad position for me now. Oh my gosh. Because that's going to KO Rayquaza. Okay, at least we know they're physical though. At least we know that we have the Intimidate in back. We do get the Dazzling Gleam off, which is pretty good for us too. I guess the question now is, I sort of need to predict what Groudon's going to do. I don't know, because there's a chance they could go for a quick guard and an attack, but I think... Ooh, this is turning into a really bad position, guys, because... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect with Xerneas. And then maybe, I guess, a knockoff and a Crobat to try to KO it. I don't think this will KO, though. Yeah, I'm going to try to prioritize the Crobat here. The Crobat is at -3, so it's most likely just trying to go for Super Fangs at this point. If I can KO the Crobat here, I think I can win. If not, then it's going to be a pretty rocky road right here. And we get the KO. That's good. Alright, so these unexpected sets are, like, really tripping us up right here. Okay, so Geomancy right here is really good for us. My Scrafty should be able to survive a potential Precipice Blades. If they're special with Eruption, okay, and they just have Precipice Blades. I was gonna say, if they're special with Eruption, they have a good chance to win here. Xerneas gets crit though. Okay, this match keeps going like back and forth because I was in a really good position there. Now, hopefully, Low Kick will knock the Groudon into range of the Moonblast. Yeah, I think that's my win condition now. Oh my god, I'm so glad that didn't KO with the crit. Low Kick. Okay, yeah, no, I definitely win now. Yeah, and Tailwind peters out, so I win here. I can just Moonblast the Groudon and Low Kick. They should probably just forfeit, though. They have, like, really no way to win unless they somehow survive this, but from the looks of it, they are no bulk on Groudon, and yeah, it gets the KO. Okay, so that was, like, a really scary match right there. That was pretty interesting. The fact that they had both Super Fang and Cross Poison on Crobat was pretty concerning because it meant that they were threatening Xerneas like really hard with the Cross Poison. Thankfully, though, we learned that they had the Super Fang because we were able to play around it throughout the match. I don't really think there was anything, like, in a best-of-1 situation, I don't think I could have done any better right there. Maybe predicting the Groudon to go for a Rock Slide could have been pretty good, but in general, like, in that situation, there was no reason for me not to cycle out the Intimidate. Just because if it was a special Groudon, then it wouldn't really do any damage to Rayquaza. And if it was physical, then at the very least I got to rotate the Intimidate out later in the match, which is what ended up happening. So it was a pretty good match right there. I liked it, at least. Like I said, some interesting sets on my opponent's Pokemon, and they definitely made a couple of plays, but fortunately for me, I still got a little bit of hacks against me, and I still was able to pull that out. So, yeah, it was pretty good. That was a stressful match. That is like, that's a match I do not want to have at Worlds. Or sorry, the type of match I wouldn't want at Worlds. And I think we got something like 12 points from that battle, so despite the fact that my opponent was like a lower rated player, we still got some decent points. I believe we need to get up to at least 1880 to be in top 10 for the world, so that's going to be our goal over the next few episodes. From there, it's going to be fighting for number 1, which is definitely like super tough. You have to go on a very good win streak to be able to get up to there. But yeah, luckily we're in the middle of the 1800s. Hopefully we can find someone around our rating instead of the 1600s. Not to say that those players like can't be good, but we keep seeing some like interesting plays and sets, and I'm not a fan of those. I'm not a fan of interesting plays or interesting sets. I'm a fan of, you're using standard stuff, I know how to beat that. When you throw in things like Cross Poison, freaking Crobat, my brain is just like, oh god, I can't handle this. Alrighty. And now we're having trouble finding an opponent, so there is a good possibility that we might be skipping. Oh, but we find someone. Oh, 1445, what is this? Not like this. Okay, But they're, not only do they have some interesting Mons on their team, but it's also Rayquaza Groudon, which is probably like the #1 matchup, like good matchup for this team. It looks like straight off the bat, I could probably just lead off Scrafty and Xerneas, and then just like sweep throughout the game. I might want to bring Amoonguss to this match, though, interestingly enough. I don't know. Because that Swampert seems like really interesting. I don't think they'll bring it. More likely than not, I think they'll just go like Groudon Raikou or something for their lead. But yeah, I like Scrafty Xerneas as a lead. The Fake Out will, like, if they have any weird shenanigans on their Pokemon, Fake Out can sort of stop that. Intimidate's really good against Groudon if they lead it, and even if it's special, I can still just go for a Fake Out anyways. So let's see. If they go like Raikou Groudon, this might actually be a little bit more difficult. Raikou Porygon, though. Okay. Which one has Thunder Wave is my question. I'm just gonna Fake Out the Raikou here. Like, neither of these Pokemon are really a threat. It's... Okay, and they get Intimidate. That doesn't really matter. I was gonna say, like, I have to decide right here which one has the weird speed control. I'm gonna assume it's Raikou, just because it's the electric type. If they have Trick Room, then props to you. I'm just gonna switch into Ray, and then, what is it? I'm just gonna switch into Ray. I'm just gonna cycle the shit out of Intimidate. So let's see. I'm faster than their Raikou, apparently, with Xerneas. I'm not a max speed Xerneas. I have a bit of speed investment, but it's not like it's a whole ton. And we're somehow outspeeding this Raikou, so that's sort of weird. Let's see what they go for. Don't be like, try attack freeze or something. Discharge? No. Not like this, guys. Yes! Thank God. Okay. Alright. This isn't too bad now. I don't think Low Kick does that much to Porygon. I might just go for a knockoff. Dazzling Gleam should KO the Raikou here, too. I don't know which one of these attacks does more damage to Porygon. Like, I guess knockoff is guaranteed damage. And then I'll just go Dazzling Gleam. And it KOs the Porygon. Okay. You see, a couple of people were talking about... this is probably, like, the best time to talk about it. So, a couple of people were talking about, for the next season's Battle Spot, they're actually changing up the rules a little bit so that... what is it? They're changing up the rules a little bit so that the special ladder is no longer VGC rules, and apparently the doubles ladder is still going to be the same rules that it's always been, which is VGC 15. So, the fact that VGC is set up on the special ladder means you're not getting as many players playing on it, and you don't get very many good players playing at the same time either. So you end up with situations like this where, like 3 episodes in a row, I'm playing against people between 14 and 1600s, even though I think like top 30 in the world or something. I'm in the 1800s, almost the 1900s, and I'm not playing people around my rank. Alright, so right here, I think, honestly, I could probably just sack off my Thundurus and then just go for a Protect. If they're like Swords Dance or something with Rayquaza, that doesn't matter at this point because I'm boosted with Xerneas. I'm just hoping that Thundurus goes down right here. If it doesn't, then I'll still just cycle out for the Intimidate. The only exception, I guess, is if, like, maybe they reveal Life Orb on Rayquaza right here. Because in that situation, I would just attack. They're going to get rid of their own weather with Groudon, though. Or they're reducing the damage of their Fire-type attacks. And their Dragon Dance! Okay, so, yeah, we're getting back to interesting stuff. Okay, and Groudon is physical, so that's fine. that was weird. Now I'm just going to go, instead of swapping out to Scrafty, I'm just going to go for a Hidden Power on a Groudon and a Dazzling Gleam. If you guys don't know, I'm running Hidden Power Water on this Thundurus, so in combination with Dazzling Gleam, it should be able to pick up a knockout. In the case that their Rayquaza is going to attack my Thundurus, then I still keep my Xerneas, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and Rayquaza just goes down, so they weren't Sash, they were probably like Life Orb or something, I'd assume. And Thundurus is going to be faster right here, so they should knock out. If not, then the game's over already, but yeah, it's just going to knock out. Okay, so yeah, again, I'm just going to reiterate on this, like, it sort of sucks that we're not playing the most competitive matches possible. It really sucks that we're up at this higher rating and not playing higher ranked people. I'm going to try my best to maybe, like, set up some other matches, I guess. Just because Battle Spot hasn't been too populated, like, with good players. People have been really bad. I'm not going to lie. A lot of the players have been really bad, and I don't think you guys are really interested in seeing that. I think you guys are more interested in the higher level content. The people that are viewing my videos, or at least most of you guys probably know, my goal is to put out higher level content for Pokemon. There are some like fun things I try out sometimes that I might even record at one point, like free-for-alls and stuff, but yeah, this right here is just not cutting it. My goal is high-level VGC. This is not high-level VGC. And that's going to be the end of the episode, I guess. If you enjoyed that, guys, and if you want to go leave some feedback, go and leave a like on this video and go leave something in the comment section below. Type toast in the comment section. Let's do something weird. You know, like, interaction with the viewers is desirable. You're going to type toast in the comments for me. And if you want to keep up with all of my content as we head towards Worlds and beyond, make sure to go check out my social media and hit subscribe. I'm ModernGamer, and thanks for watching.